There are mandatory and voluntary evacuations in place in Fort Bend County.
That's right. Judge Bob Hebert discussed the problem areas late last night. Take a listen.
As a result of our meetings, I've made the decision, and we have a decision, and I'm signing orders as soon as they're prepared that will call for some mandatory evacuations of levee districts in Fort Bend County and some voluntary evacuations. And I'll be happy when I finish, if there's a question, to explain how we arrived at that difference. For the record, mandatory evacuations in Fort Bend County will occur in levee district number 6, levee improvement district number 7, levee improvement district number 20, municipal utility district number 46, municipal utility district number 49, municipal utility district number 115, First Colony levee improvement district number 1, Fort Bend Municipal Utility District number 121, Palmer Plantation Mud number 1, and Palmer Plantation Mud number 2. These are mandatory evacuations. In general, the mandatory evacuation is based on the recommendation of the engineer for the district that says there is an issue with that district in the manner which is constructed that puts it at risk of failure at an 800+ year flood level. So we have no choice. We have voluntary evacuations because in some of our districts the Free Board protects them even at this very high number. But they have other problems. Primarily, for the duration that the water is up, there will be no egress or exit from the district because the streets will be covered with 3, 4, or 5 feet of water. So since they're going to be locked in place, we feel they should have the option to stay in place for a period of time safe within the levee or get out before the streets are closed off, and each individual can make that decision. Those districts that will get voluntary evacuation orders are Fort Bend County Levee Improvement District number 2, Fort Bend County Levee Improvement District number 10, Fort Bend County Levee Improvement District number 11, and that portion of Fort Bend County Mud number 116 that is within Lid 11's levee, Fort Bend County Levee Improvement District number 14, Fort Bend County Levee District number 15, Fort Bend County Levee Improvement District number 17, Fort Bend County Levee Improvement District number 19, Fort Bend County Levee Improvement District number 2, the Pecan Grove Municipal Utility District, and Sienna Plantation Levee Improvement District. These are voluntary evacuations because the engineers and the operators for these believe that they are protected. But there may be the inability once the water gets above 56 or 7. We've never been there before. There may be an inability for them to move in and out of their subdivisions to go to the doctor, to go to the grocery store and do things like that.
So we're going to be watching that area very closely in the next few days.
Yeah, and one thing to mention when we're talking about these evacuations in Fort Bend County, whether they be mandatory or voluntary, total, we're talking about 130,000 people, basically 20% of the population in Fort Bend County under some type of evacuation order, whether it be, again, the mandatory or the voluntary orders that have been issued.
The judge saying they're going to be announcing later this morning shelters for those folks, and they're expecting about 3,000 people. As soon as those shelters are announced, we'll have them for you here on air and on click2houston.com.